We are still discussing anapanasati, mindfulness on the in-out breath. So according to the instruction, in order to practice anapanasati, or for that matter, to practice any kind of meditation. So especially if you want to practice intensively. So first you need to go to a suitable place, a place that is quiet, secluded, peaceful, free from disturbances, activities, and so on. So in the sutta, the Buddha mentioned the forest, under the shade of a tree, empty places. So you go to such places, okay? Or meditation center, a suitable meditation center. So once you go there, then you prepare yourself for meditation. Okay? So first you adopt a suitable posture for meditation. So in the case of anapanasati, the best posture to develop anapanasati is the sitting posture. So this is what the Buddha recommended in the instruction. Okay, so the yogi sits down, crosses legs. Okay, so cross the leg, whether in the full lotus posture, half lotus posture, or the easy posture, you cross the leg in order to get a stable base. Okay? And then as for the upper body, you keep the upper body upright. Okay? So upright but in a relaxed manner. So keep the upper body upright means, as explained in the commentary, so it means all the vertebrae of the spine are arranged end to end. That means one on top another. So when it's arranged one on top of the other, you get a very natural, upright posture. So, which is not exactly straight up. You remember, the spine in its natural posture is a little bit curved or arch. So, but the idea is that it's a relaxed and comfortable posture. Because when you sit in this way, then your back muscles or the sinews and between the vertebrae, they are not unnecessarily twisted or strained, which give rise to pain. So the idea of sitting in this way is so that you get a comfortable posture. The base is stable, and then the upper body is comfortable. Okay? So in this way, when you meditate, the body is not in the way. The body is not disturbing your meditation. Because when you do anapanasati, your attention should be on the breath at the tip of the nostril. Right? So, but if let's say your base is not stable, then your body will be shaking. Right? So then that will be a distraction. So your attention becomes distracted away from the breath towards the body. Or if your upper body is not upright, there's a lot of pain, again you get distracted. Right? So the idea is to put the body out of the way. It does not become a distraction, so that the mind can remain continuously on the breath as it occurs at the tip of the nostril. Okay? Now, so in the Anapana instruction, Buddha mentioned that you sit down and then you cross your leg. So your leg, you cross it. Okay? Your upper body, you keep upright. Right? So, but somebody asks, then what do we do with the hands? So, in the instruction, the Buddha did not mention anything about the hands. So, what does it mean? Free for all? You can put your hand anywhere, like that. No. So, traditionally, in the traditional sitting posture, so you can see in the Buddha Rupa at the back here. And that's a traditional way, how you arrange your hand when you sit. So that means one hand resting on top of another. So you put one hand on top of another, and then both the hands are resting on your cross legs. Right? So that's the traditional way to arrange your hand when you're meditating. Okay? Yeah. Of course, some other yogis say, I don't want to put one on top of the other. What if I put the fingers together? What if I grasp them like that? So, yeah, up to you, as long as you are comfortable. So, the basic principle is that you want to get the body out of the way. It's comfortable enough so that the posture can last you, so that you can meditate for a long time without the body interfering in any way. Okay? So you can arrange your hands in any way. This is the basic principle. Okay? That's why I prefer when I explain about meditation, to explain the basic principle behind all this instruction. So that once you understand the basic principles, you can apply it yourself. You don't have to keep asking for very specific instruction. Can I do this? Can I do that? You will understand the basic principle behind it, and then you apply. If you want to do this, you apply the basic principle. You understand whether you can do or you cannot do. Right? So your hand you can arrange anywhere. So not necessarily, one as what we mentioned just now, as how the Buddha image is. So some yogis like to put both their hands on the knees, right? So right hand on the right knee, left hand on the left knee. So some they like to put the palm facing down. Some like to arrange the palm facing up. Some even like to do the mudra like that. So it's up to you. As long as you're comfortable, you can fold your body upright. So of course, then you say right hand on the left knee, left hand on the right knee. Then it becomes a little bit awkward and uncomfortable. So it's entirely up to you, as long as you are comfortable. Okay? So once you prepared the body, so you're seated cross-legged, body upright, hands are arranged in a comfortable position. then your body is ready for meditation. And so next, you prepare the mind. So for meditation, so what do you do? So parimukkhang sati upatapetu, direct mindfulness to face the meditation subject. So in this case, it's anapana. So direct the mindfulness to the breath. So direct it to where the breath usually occur. Okay? So in this case, it's at the tip of the nostril. Okay? So according to the Patisambhidamagga, in the explanation of Anapanasati. Okay, so direct the attention to the tip of the nostril or the upper lips, center of the upper lips. Okay, not this side, not that side. Okay, center. Okay, so you direct it to where the breath is usually felt. Either at the tip of the nose or the center of the upper lip. So once your attention, the mindfulness is direct there, then as soon as the in-breath or the out-breath occur, then you can immediately note the in-breath or the out-breath. So in this way, your mind is prepared to meditate. So you prepare the body, prepare the mind. So once the body and the mind is prepared to meditate, then the Buddha gave the basic instruction for anapanasati. There it says, so satova asasati, satova pasasati. Yeah, very simple, basic instruction for anapana. It's very short. Satova asasati, satova pasasati. So only with mindfulness it breathes in. Only with mindfulness it breathes out. For those who have very keen wisdom, this short instruction is enough. In order to practice anapana. Okay, so this means so only with mindfulness you breathe in, you breathe out. This means the yogi makes effort to ensure that each in-breath and each out-breath that occurs are experienced only with mindfulness. Okay? So you make effort such that not a single in-breath or out-breath occurs without mindfulness. Okay? So in the Visuddhimagga, you explain tam satim avijjahanto. Okay? That means the yogi does not abandon that mindfulness. Okay? So with each in-breath or out-breath, it does not abandon the mindfulness. So in-breath occur, is mindful of the in-breath. It does not abandon the mindfulness. Out-breath occur, experience it with mindfulness. It does not abandon the mindfulness. The mind is never without mindfulness, okay, with each in-breath or out-breath. Okay, so that means mindfulness is continuously occurring. One breath after another is continuously occurring. So this means anupassana. Right? This is what anupassana means. So mindfulness is continuously noting each in-breath, each out-breath, without missing a single breath. Okay? And in this continuous anupassana, contemplation of the in-out breath, we can also see the characteristic of mindfulness. Upadana lakkhana, the characteristic of establishing, can be seen here. So as each breath is experienced only with mindfulness. So each time you experience it only with mindfulness, mindfulness establishes the mind firmly on the breath. So in-breath occur, mindfulness on the in-breath, the mindfulness establish it firmly on the in-breath. Similarly, when you experience the out-breath with mindfulness, mindfulness establish it firmly on the out-breath. So as you're noting continuously each in-breath, each out-breath, so mindfulness is continuously establishing the mind on the object of meditation. Okay? So gradually it becomes more and more firmly established on the object of meditation, on the in-out breath. So this is satipatthana. This is the meaning of satipatthana, mindfulness that is firmly established. Okay? So you can see this in anapanasati. So the characteristic of mindfulness, upadana lakkhana, the characteristic of establishing, can be clearly seen. And then in each moment also, as you note the in-breath and out-breath. So parimukkhang sati upatapayitva, the mindfulness is facing the object. It's coming face to face with the object. So you note the in-breath, the mindfulness is face to face with the in-breath. You note the out-breath, the mindfulness is facing the out-breath. Okay? So this is the manifestation of mindfulness. Visaya abhimukha pachupadana. So mindfulness has the manifestation of being face to face with the object. It appears to be face to face with the object. Okay? You can see this when you are contemplating each in-breath, each out-breath. The mindfulness is directly facing the breath. Okay? So the manifestation also can be clearly seen. And because mindfulness is continuously establishing the mind on the object, moment after moment, one breath after another. So the mind never forgets the object, never forgets the breath. So attention is never turned away from the breath. It's continuously with the breath. So this is asamosa rasa. This is the function of mindfulness and the non-forgetfulness. Okay? So not mindfulness, because it continuously establishes the mind on each in-breath, each out-breath. It does not allow the mind to forget the breath. So the attention is continuously on the in-breath, out-breath. So just by this exercising of keeping the mind, the awareness or the mindfulness continuously on each in-breath, each out-breath. So the characteristic, the function, the manifestation of mindfulness can be seen with regards to the breath. So that's why this exercise is called anapanasati, mindfulness of the in-out breath. Because the characteristic, the function, the manifestation of mindfulness clearly present as you carry out this exercise. Now, one thing to always keep in mind when you do anapanasati, is that you always keep your attention on the tip of the nose or the upper lip. Okay, so in the, I think this is from the Mahatika, Visuddhimagga Mahatika, the commentary to the Visuddhimagga. Explain nasikage mukha nimitte. So, oh, sorry, this from Patisambhida Magga, nasikage mukha nimitte. So it means at the tip of the nose or at the mukha nimitta actually literally means the sign of the mouth. But what it means is actually the upper lip here. Okay, so you keep your attention at the tip of the nose or the upper lip. So, and in the Mahatika, the commentary to Visuddhimagga, they explain that one with a long nose, your nose is long or prominent. You will discern the breath at the tip of the nostril. So for the others, that means for those with short nose, you discern it more at the upper lip here. So explain the upper lip as where the mouth covers up the teeth. So over here. Okay. So this is where you usually experience the breath, in-out breath. Okay. I don't know whether it's true or not. Those with long nose will experience it more at the tip of the nose, whereas those with short nose at the upper lip. So, yeah. But in practice, you don't need to worry whether it's the tip of the nose or whether it's the upper lip. So, otherwise you make your practice very complicated. You start to think, is my attention on the tip of the nose or is it on the upper lip or not? Is my nose long or is my nose short? You start to worry. So, should I note at the tip of the nose or at the upper lip? Don't worry about all this. Just keep your attention where the sensation of the breath appear most clearly to you. You appear at the tip of the nostril, then you just be aware of it then. If it's at the upper lip, then at the upper lip. Okay? Yeah. Those with mustache will be able to feel it more clearly. For the ladies, too bad. You can put a false mustache just to feel it more clearly. So anyway, you are supposed, when you practice anapanasati, you're supposed to keep your attention there, okay, somewhere there, where you feel it most clearly. So you're not supposed to follow the breath into the body and then from inside the body out again. Do not follow the breath in this way. So you're supposed to keep the attention at the over here, somewhere over here, tip of the nose or the upper lip. So where you usually felt, where you usually feel the in-out breath as it goes in and as it comes out from the nose. Okay? So I think this is explained in the Patisambhida Magga, that using the simile of the saw, when you saw a piece of wood. Okay, so So when the carpenter saw a piece of wood, or he saw the trunk of the tree, right? So now the saw is moving across the trunk, right, of the tree. But where is the attention of the carpenter? His attention is always on the place where the saw touches, is in contact with the trunk. So even though the saw can be going across back and forth at that point, it does not. His attention does not follow the saw back and forth. His attention is always at the place where the saw cuts the trunk. Okay, so in the same way, so a yogi should not follow the breath into the body and then out from the body. Okay? You should always keep your attention at the place where the breath is felt as it comes in and out from the nose. So somewhere here. Okay? So the basic instruction for Anapanasati is simply this. So to be mindful when you breathe in, to be mindful when you breathe out. So keeping the attention always at the tip of the nostril or the upper lip. Okay? So that's all. That's the very basic instruction of Anapana. So those with very keen wisdom get this instruction, they can practice ready, you can develop jhana. So, yeah. But for those who need more elaboration, so the Buddha start to give more details how to practice Anapana. Okay? So as I mentioned the other day, so the practice of Anapanasati consists of altogether 16 steps. Okay? So, and the 16 steps are divided into 4 groups. Each group consists of 4 steps. Okay, so we call it the tetrads. So there are 4 tetrads, 4 groups of 4s. Okay. So you can find the complete instruction for Anapanasati in the Anapanasati Sutta in Majjhima Nikaya. Okay, so the Sutta number 118. Okay. But in the Satipatthana Sutta, this Anapanasati comes under Kayanupassana. So out of the 4 tetrads, the first tetrad deals with Kayanupassana. Okay, so the other 3 tetrads deals with the Vedana, Citta and Dhammanupassana. So therefore in the Satipatthana Sutta, the Buddha only gave the instruction for the first tetrad, the first 4 steps, dealing with Kayanupassana. So the first step, the instruction is Digamwa asasanto, digam asasamiti pajanati. Digamwa asasanto, digam pasasamiti pajanati. So this means breathing in a long breath. He knows, he means the yogi, he or she knows distinctly, knows clearly. I breathe in long. I breathe in a long breath. Okay? And then breathing out a long breath, he knows distinctly, he knows clearly. I breathe out a long breath. Okay? So this is one step. Okay? So So simply to know, as you breathe in, a long breath, as you breathe out, a long breath, you know clearly, oh, this is a long breath, this is a long in breath, this is a long, long out breath. Okay? Yeah. So, now, in the sutta, the Buddha says, he knows clearly, I breathe in long. He knows clearly, I breathe out long. Okay, so now, but in Vipassana meditation, if you do Anapana as a Vipassana practice, it is actually better to note without a subject, without the I there. Otherwise, you keep saying, I breathe in long, I breathe out long, I breathe in long, I breathe out long. The I is still there. Every time you say that in your mind, you are reaffirming the I. So it's better to just note it as a long breath, long in breath, long out breath. So just breathing. Breathe in long, breathe out long, something like that. So now, some people ask why the Buddha asks us to, in the sutta to note in this way. I breathe in long, I breathe out long. So now, in Pali, in Pali verbs, the subject of the verb comes together with the verb. It cannot be separated from the verb. When you read the verb, you know immediately the subject of the verb. You don't have to mention the subject of the verb. You read the verb, you know who is the subject of the verb. So, yeah, that is a peculiar feature of the verb as it occurs in Pali language. Okay, for example, so here Buddha used breathing in long. Asasami. Asasami means I breathe in long. I breathe in. Asasami. When you read Asasami, you know immediately the subject is I, the first person singular. First person means yourself. So how do you know the subject? You look at the ending. Asasami, me. The last ending, me. That tells you that is the subject here is I. Is the first person singular. Okay, so asasami means I breathe in. So it comes together with the verb. And from the ending, you know the subject. If you change the ending, let's say to asasama, you change the ending from mi to ma, then it becomes asasama. It means we breathe in. So it's singular, first person, plural. So in Pali, in Pali language, we talk about three types of person. First person, second person, third person. First person means you. Or it means I, the person who is speaking. I, or in plural, that means we. Second person is who you are talking to. The person you are talking to. That means you, or you all. Singular, plural. Third person means somebody else that you refer to. Not the person you are talking to, but somebody else. So that's the third person. So that means singular, he, she. In plural, it be they, or they all, or something like that. So first person, second person, third person. So So asasami means I breathe in. So first person singular. If you change it to the ending to ma, asasama, that means first person plural. We breathe in. You change it to asasasi. Asasasi means you breathe in. Or you change it to asasata. Then it means you all breathe in. Second person plural. Okay? You change it to asasati. And that means he or she breathe in. Asasanti. And that means they breathe in. Okay? So the subject always goes together with the verb. So from the ending of the verb, you know who is the subject. So in the Pali language, the subject and the verb cannot be separated. Okay? So therefore, if we translate literally what the Buddha says, then that means he knows distinctly clearly. I breathe in a long breath. I breathe out a long breath. So asasami and pasasami. Pasasami means breathe out. I breathe out. So it cannot be separated. So when you translate, you also translate accordingly. But when you practice, you cannot without the subject. So you can drop the subject and simply note long in breath, long out breath, or breathe in long, breathe out long, something like that. So you can note in this way in order not to affirm the self, the atta, the I. Because one of the reasons why the idea of a self is so deeply entrenched in our mind is because of language that we use. So, everyday language, we are so used to saying I, you, until we really believe that there really is an I, there really is a you. But when we practice meditation, we don't want to reaffirm this. Right? So in the way we note also, we should do away with the subject. Okay? Okay. Then the Buddha also used the word pajanati. So in many translations, they simply translate pajanati as know. He knows. So breathing in long, he knows. I breathe in long. Knows. Okay. But we translate it as to know clearly, know distinctly. This means to know with clear knowledge. Okay? So it's not an ordinary kind of knowing. Okay? So, because pajanati is actually the verb for panya. Panya, wisdom. Okay? So, panya, how is it derived? It's derived from the root nya. Remember we explained last time. From the root nya, meaning knowing, right? And then you add the prefix pa. So pa is an intensifier prefix. Intensify the meaning of nya. So that means not just mere knowing, but knowing clearly, knowing distinctly. So, or you can say knowing intensively. So that's the meaning of wisdom. You really know it clearly, distinctly. So pajanati is the verbal form of panya. It is also derived from the same root nya, and then with the same prefix pa. So pajanati. Okay, so So through different grammatical rules you apply. So one transform into a verb, the other transform into a noun. Okay, so but they mean the same, wisdom or the exercise of wisdom. So knowing clearly, he knows clearly, he knows distinctly. Okay, so when you practice anapanasati, each in-breath, each out-breath, you must know clearly. Does not just know superficially. If it is long, you must know clearly it is long. If it's short, you must know clearly it is short. Okay. Now here, this instruction, breathing in long, he knows clearly. I breathe in long. This instruction is not to say that you, does not mean that you deliberately take a long breath or exhale a long breath. Okay, so it does not mean that. Okay, so it must be a naturally occurring long breath. Okay, so don't try to control the breath, make it long. So what it means is that as you breathe in and out, if the breath happens to be a long breath, then you are clearly aware that it is a long breath. So whether it's a long in breath or long out breath, you are clearly aware. That's the meaning. So don't try to control the breath to make it long. Okay. Now, what does it mean long? Long breath. So a long breath means long in duration of time. Adana. So that means it takes a longer time. So it does not mean, long breath does not mean that you follow the breath into the body and then you see how far it goes. It goes very far, then that is a long breath. Not like this. Remember, you're supposed to keep the attention here, right? So you keep your attention here, and then as it passes in, it takes a very long time. That is a long breath. Right? As it passes out, it takes a very long time. That's a long out breath. Okay. So it's from the duration. If it takes a long duration, then that is a long breath. Okay. And similarly, with the short breath. So the second step, Buddha says, rasam va asasanto rasam asasamiti pajanati. Rasam va asasanto rasam asasamiti pajanati. This means breathing in a short breath, he knows clearly, distinctly. I breathe in a short breath. And breathing out a short breath, he knows distinctly, clearly. I breathe out a short breath. Okay? So the meaning is the same, except that instead of a long breath, is a short breath. Okay? So again, it's better to note without the subject. I breathe in, I breathe out, short. So you simply note short in breath, short out breath. Okay? So that you do not reaffirm the self, the atta. So again, you must know with clear knowledge, okay? Not just superficial knowing. So you must really know it properly. And again, it does not mean that you deliberately control the breath so that it is short. Okay? So you breathe naturally, and if it happens to be a short breath, then you're clearly aware of it. So short breath is a breath that takes a shorter time. So don't follow the breath into the body. You see, oh, you reach only up to here is a short breath. Not like this. Hold your attention at the tip of the nostril here. Okay? So according to the duration of the breath, you know that is short. So the first two steps is very easy. Simply know clearly when you breathe in long, when you breathe out long, when you breathe in short, when you breathe out short. So this is simple enough. Then come the third step. So Sabbakaya Patisamvedi. Sabbakaya Patisamvedi Asasi Samiti Sikhati. Sabbakaya Patisamvedi Passasi Samiti Sikhati. So that means he trains us. He trains us. Sikhati. I shall breathe in, experiencing the entire body. Okay? Sabbakaya Patisamvedi. I shall experiencing the entire body. Asasisami. I shall breathe in. Okay? And then he trains us. I shall breathe out, experiencing the entire body. Okay? So what does this mean? I shall breathe in, experiencing the entire body. And breathe out, experiencing the entire body. Okay. So this is explained in the commentary in Visuddhimagga. Sakalasa asasakayasa. So Sabbakaya, in the sutta the Buddha says Sabbakaya, the entire body. Okay? So Visuddhimagga paraphrase this as Sakalasa asasa kayasa. So that means, so the entire body means the entire in-breath body. Okay? And similarly, the entire out-breath body. So that means body here refers to the breath body, the body in and out breath. Okay? So Sabbakaya, the entire body, does not refer to this entire body. Okay? So, because remember, this is anapanasati. Your attention is supposed to be on the breath. So, not on anything else. So, not on this whole entire body from the top of the head until the sole of the feet. Okay? So, kaya here, as we explained last time, it can mean the entire body, but it can also mean any single part of the body. Okay? Kaya means a collection. So collection of materiality. So at the tip of the nostril here also, there's a collection of materiality. That is kaya. So that is a body. Okay? So experiencing the entire body means the entire body means the body means the entire breath. Okay? The entire in-out breath. So it says sakalasa asasa kayasa adi majja pariyasanam viditam karonto pakatam karonto asasi samiti sikati. Okay? So that means he trains us. I shall breathe in, making known, making plain the beginning, middle, and end of the entire in-breath body. Okay? So this is the meaning. So you make effort every time you note an in-breath, you make effort so that the beginning, middle, and end of the in-breath is clear, is made known, it is made plain. Plain means clear. Okay. So here the yogi must make this extra effort to note clearly the beginning, middle, and end of the in-breath. Okay? Making sure that the beginning is clear, the middle is clear, the end also is clear. Okay, that's what it means. He trains us. I shall breathe in, experiencing the entire body. So that means to breathe in while you're breathing in. You're aware of the breathing in. So you make effort so that the beginning, middle, and end of the in-breath is clear. Okay? And in the same way also, he trains us. I shall breathe out, experiencing the entire body. So this means that as you breathe out, you're aware of the out-breath, you make effort so that the beginning, middle, and end of the out-breath is clear. So sakalasa, pasasa, kayasa, adi majja bariyosana, viditam karonto, pakatam karonto, pasasi samiti sikati. So he trains us. I shall breathe out, making known, making plain, or making clear the beginning, middle, and end of the entire out-breath body. Okay, that's the meaning. So, evam viditam karonto, pakatam karonto, Jnana sampayutta cittena asasati ceva pasasati ca. So this means by making known, making clear the in and out breath in this way, making it known, beginning, middle, and end, making it clear. So this yogi, he breathes in as well as out with this citta that is associated with knowledge. Jnana sampayutta citta. So that means the noting mind is associated with clear knowledge that discerns clearly the beginning, middle, and end of each in-breath, each out-breath. Okay? Now, notice the future tense here. I shall breathe in. I shall breathe out. So, previously in the first two steps, the Buddha simply says, I breathe in. He knows clearly, distinctly, I breathe in long, I breathe out long, I breathe in short, I breathe out short. But here in the third step, instead of using the present tense, the Buddha used the future tense. I shall breathe in. So why is this so? So now, the first two steps, simply being aware of the long and the short breath. So this does not require much effort, much knowledge. You simply know. If it's short breath, you know it's short breath. If it's long breath, you know it's long breath. Of course, there must be some effort, but it doesn't require that much effort or that much clarity of knowledge. Okay? But now, in these third steps, the yogi must make an extra effort and arouse more clarity in the mind in order to know clearly beginning, middle, as well as the end of each in-breath, each out breath. So therefore, the Buddha says, he uses the future tense, I shall breathe. I shall breathe in, I shall breathe out. So it denotes, by using the future tense, it denotes a more deliberate effort to be more clear about each in-breath, each out-breath. Okay? As compared to simply knowing, oh, I breathe in long, I breathe out long, and so on. So now you require more effort. So now, and Visuddhimagga, I paraphrase the sentence as making known, making clear, beginning, middle, and end of the breath. Okay, so now this does not mean that the yogi should breathe in or breathe out more vigorously or more forcefully in order to make the breath clearer. Okay, so if you do so, yes, the breath may be clearer because it's grosser, right? Yeah. But the knowledge that arises from this is not knowledge that is born of samadhi, not knowledge that is born of concentration, but it is knowledge due to the grossness of the breath. So now, in meditation, the knowledge that we want to develop is knowledge that is born from samadhi. So that's why all this Vipassana, Jnana, they are born from samadhi. Only when the mind has this samadhi, this kanika samadhi, then this clear insight arises. Okay? So, so you should not force the breath. To breathe more forcefully, to make it grosser so that you can discern it more clearly. And so the breath should be naturally occurring breath. So, but you make effort to observe clearly each in-breath, each out-breath, whether it's gross, whether it's subtle, and no matter how subtle it is. Because with Anapana, as you practice, it becomes more and more subtle. Right? And so no matter how subtle it is, you make effort. Make effort in the mind to experience the breath clearly. Okay? So the more subtle it is, the more effort you put in to experience it clearly. So as you do so, as you make effort to note in this way, the samadhi develops. Right? And as the samadhi develops, then even though it's subtle, the breath is subtle, it becomes clearer and clearer to the mind. So this is clear knowledge that is born from samadhi. Okay? Yeah. So making known, making clear does not mean you force the breath. Breathe in, breathe out more forcefully, more vigorously. Okay? It simply means you make effort. When you are noting, make effort to feel it, to experience it more clearly. The beginning, the middle, the end of each in-breath, each out-breath. Okay? So you see here, actually, this instruction for Anapana can, to a certain extent, be also applied to the noting arising falling, even though they are not the same subject of meditation. So when you, in the beginning, you can note very simply, as rising, you know rising, falling, you know falling. So that's the most basic instruction for noting arising, falling. As it rises, you know it rises. If it falls, you know it falls. That's all. Right? So same with Anapana. In, you know in. Out, you know out. Right? So you pay attention. There's mindfulness present with each in and with each out breath. So similarly, when you note rising, falling also, you make sure that with every rising, with every falling, mindfulness is present, experiencing it. Okay? So then sometimes the rising is very long. You can also know this is very long. It takes a long time from beginning to the end. So you follow, long rising or long falling, or short rising, short falling. But of course, this is still very conceptual. But first, in the beginning, that's how you should follow the rising, falling. Okay? So that it can help you keep your attention on the rising and falling. You see? So it help you pay more attention. You pay more attention whether it's long, whether it's short. So it helps you to anchor the attention there on the rising, falling. But eventually you have to give up all this concept and simply be aware of the entire process of rising from beginning to the end, and the falling also. Be aware of it from beginning to the end. So you know the entire rising, you know the entire falling, beginning, middle, and end. So that's when you begin to sink in, to feel more carefully the sensation that occur with each rising, with each falling. So it can be applied. But remember, they are not the same meditation subject. Okay. Okay. The fourth step, the last step in the first tetrad, Buddha says, Pasambhayam Kaya Sankharam Asasisamiti Sikati. And Pasambhayam Kaya Sankharam Pasasisamiti Sikati. So he trains us calming the bodily formation. I shall breathe in. And calming the bodily formation. I shall breathe out. Okay? Yeah, just to explain briefly. Bodily formation here again refers to the in-out breath. Okay, so they are called bodily formation. Formation means things that are formed, things that are conditioned. Form means they are formed from condition. When the suitable conditions are present, they arise. So they are called formation. So kaya sankhara here means something that is formed depending on the body. So the in-out breath arises depending on the body. If there were no body, there will be no in-out breath. So they are called kaya sankhara, bodily formation. So I shall breathe in, calming this bodily formation. And so that means I shall breathe in, calming the gross in breath. And I shall breathe out, calming the gross out breath. Okay? So this is the meaning. Okay? So as we meditate, the breath becomes more and more subtle. So that's what it means, calming the bodily formation. It's not that you deliberately try to calm down the breath. You can try all you want. But you will never calm it down without samadhi. Right? So what it means by calming down, gross in and out breath, means you continuously practice noting in out breath. So you note the beginning, middle, and end of each in breath, of each out breath. As you follow continuously, the samadhi develops. As the samadhi develops, so the in and out breath also becomes more and more subtle, more and more subtle. So that's what it means by calming down, calming the bodily formation. As you breathe, I shall breathe in, calming down the bodily formation. I shall breathe out. So, so this means continuous effort to note the in and out breath, so that the samadhi reach deeper and deeper. So the mind becomes more and more subtle, more and more calm and tranquil. So therefore the breath also becomes more and more peaceful, calm and tranquil. So that's the meaning. Okay? Yeah. So this is the 4 steps of anapanasati. Okay, that relates to kayanupassana. Okay. Okay. So there's still a little bit left on this section on anapanasati. So next part is the Buddha simply gave a simile, and then he repeat the same instruction. And then the last part, he talks about development of insight. Okay, so we'll discuss more about this in the next Dhamma talk. I'll stop here today. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Buddham Pujemi. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Dhammam Pujemi. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Sangham Pujemi. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Mata Pitunam Pujemi. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Acariyanam Pujemi. Adha Imaya Patipadaya Charamaranamha Rimochisami. Itame Punyam Asawakaya Vaham Hodu. Idame Punyam Nibbanasa Pacayo Hodu. Idame Silam Magaphalanyanasa Pacayo Hodu. Imam no Punya Bhagam Sabbasadanam Dema. Imam no Punya Bhagam Sabbasadanam Dema. Imam no Punya Bhagam Sabbasadanam Dema. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So may all of you be well, happy and peaceful always. May you always be healthy, be strong, be safe. May you all be able to continuously practice the Dhamma without any obstacle, without any hindrances. May your practice always be smooth. And soon may all of you be able to experience the unconditioned peace of Nibbana through your practice of Dhamma.